Hi, my name is Tzivi Kivman from the Chabad Jewish Center here in Mansfield. I'm here with another cooking edition from the Jewish Holiday Cooking Series. On September 14th and 15th, Rosh Hashanah is coming up, and that is the Jewish New Year, where Jews from all over the world celebrate for 2 days the start of the new Jewish year. There are a couple special foods and things that we do on Rosh Hashanah. The highlight of the day is hearing the Chauffeur in the synagogues and temples, and we eat many different types of special foods. We want God to grant us a sweet new year, so we eat apples dipped in sweet, sweet honey. So today, the apple and the honey will be the highlights of our cooking show, and we will make these incredibly easy but beautiful apple roses. Ready to begin? Here's what we're going to do. You need 2 apples. You're going to slice the apples in half. You're going to take out the core and the pits by cutting a triangle through the apple. Sometimes the cores can get a little bit stubborn. And make sure there's no pits left inside. You're going to do that to 2 apples. Then you're going to turn the apple on its side and cut thin slices. Just this size. 1, 2, 3, 4. They should look something like this. You're going to be cutting both apples up with 1/2 inch slices, and this is going to be the inside delicious part of our apple rose. Once all the apples are cut, we're going to place it in a bowl and pop it in the microwave for 3.5 minutes. Perfect! The apples are the right texture and just the right time to begin. The apples should be soft to touch, and you should be able to move them around. And now comes the super fun part. You're going to purchase in your local grocery store Pepperidge Farm pastry dough. And just like that, it's in a frozen roll in the frozen section. You're going to cut off a slice. Sometimes it's a little hard to work with. You're going to cut off a slice of dough just about this size. And now the fun begins. It's simple, it's easy, and it looks beautiful on a Rosh Hashanah holiday table. The first thing I did was I took a little mixture of honey, apricot jam, and a little bit of hot water, and I put that in the microwave for just about 1 minute till all the liquids came together. This is going to make sure that our soft apples stick to our dough. So we're going to dip it in with a pastry brush, and we're going to slowly paint the sides of the Pepperidge Farm until it looks all sticky. Now here's where the fun comes. You're going to pick your favorite soft apples, and you're going to put them color side down, just peeking out from on top of the Pepperidge Farm dough. They can be any size, any texture. If you like them very full, you can double the apples just like this. If you like different colors, you can layer different colors. And now comes the fun part. Apples always taste better with a little bit drop of cinnamon and sugar. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on the apples. And now comes the fun part. You're going to take a muffin tin, and you're going to spray it with a little bit of Pam. And now watch what we're going to do. You're going to take the lower half of the dough, and you're going to fold it on top of the apples until only a little bit of apples are peeking up. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because in the oven everything will come together beautifully. So it looks just like this. Then you're going to pretend that you're rolling a pin roll, just like this. You're going to roll the dough one piece into another, just like a pinwheel. And as we bring it up, you will see a beautiful apple rose. And you're going to just pop the apple rose right into a muffin tin. And you're going to bake it at 350 for 45 minutes till it's beautiful, crispy, and brown. These apple roses will be the highlight of your Rosh Hashanah table. They're easy to make, They're fun to serve, and they're beautiful dessert too.
Hi, my name is Rabbi Kivman, and I'd like to talk to you today about something really special. I walked into a Hebrew school class the other day with my hands behind my back, and I asked the children to tell me, can you guess what's behind my back? In order to give them a hint, I offered that this is something you'll find in the synagogue twice a year. One kid in the back raised his hand really loud. I know. Asked, what is it? My dad? Well, actually, it wasn't his dad, but it was a chauffeur. A chauffeur is made from a ram's horn. It is hollowed out and used in synagogues around the world every single year on Rosh Hashanah, the new year, on the first day as well as the second day. It is again heard once again at the end of Yom Kippur, as one blast is made. The reason why we blow the shofar is to arouse our hearts to come closer to God. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, the high holidays are considered times of repentance, of coming close to God. And this is something, a call of the heart, that we do, which is much higher and deeper than any words can express. A story is told by the great sage Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Barditchev that there was once a king who had a son, a prince, he sent away to a faraway land. He wanted to see how the prince will act when he's not around the king and the family and the throne and the palace. The son did pretty well acclimating, but the problem was he acclimated too much and became like the peasants until he almost forgot about his own family, his parents, and the whole kingdom. Until one day, when he remembered it, he decided to travel back. And he took the long journey back, asking along the way, where's the kingdom, where's the palace? But he didn't remember even the language that he used to speak in the country he came from. When he showed up at the palace, the guards would shoo him away. He couldn't even talk the language. What could he do? So he sat down under the window of his parents' bedroom, and he began to cry and cry and cry and cry. His parents, hearing the cry, they recognized it. It was the cry of their own child, their own son. And they looked out the window, and lo and behold, there he was. He couldn't communicate verbally, but with the cry of the heart, he was able to communicate. So too, once a year, on Rosh Hashanah, although we may not have been the way we would like to have been in our relationship with God, with other Jews, with other human beings throughout the year, but once a year we come to synagogue and we tell God from the depths of our heart, we want to become close to you. We want to become close to all our fellow humans. So the shofar is blown in the synagogues and not in the synagogues too. We also have the shofar blowing at the Tashlich service. Every year on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, it is customary to go to a pool of water, a body of water, and to symbolically cast away our sins into the body of water. We try specifically that there should be fish, because fish, the eyes of the fish are constantly open, representing that the eyes of God are constantly upon us. So this year, as in every year, we're going to do the Tashlich service at the Fulton's Pond, right here in Mansfield. And it's open to the public. You don't have to be affiliated or have any background, Jewish background prior to this, to come and join. At that time, we will also have the sounding of the shofar for those that haven't heard it yet that day. It's going to be this year on Monday, September 14 at 4:30 p.m. at Fulton's Pond. It is customary in the month of Elul, that's the Jewish month preceding the high holidays, to hear the shofar blowing every single day. Today, being one of the days of the month of Elul, and a weekday, I'm going to blow some of the sounds of the shofar. Of course, the most important sounds are heard on Rosh Hashanah, in the synagogue, or wherever you may hear it, the specific 100 sounds that are supposed to be heard. But today, we'll do 10 sounds. there are three types of sounds. The tekiah is a long sound. It's like someone wailing, crying, a baby yelling, wah. The shavarim is three short sounds. When someone's krechzing, someone is sighing, and having sighing, not just crying, but getting to cry, the beginning of a cry. And finally, the teruah is a bunch of short sobs. And this represents all different types of people and all different types of sobs and cries as we call out to our Father in heaven to bring us back home, and we should connect to Him in the best way possible. Here we go. The reason why we use specifically a ram's horn is because we're taught that a ram was used at the beginning of Genesis when Abraham was about to sacrifice his son Isaac on the mountain of Moriah. And instead, the angel told him not to actually sacrifice his son. It was enough that he brought his son up to the mountain to show God his love for him, but instead to sacrifice a ram that he saw right there. And it is taught that there are two sides of the ram's horn, the chauffeurs, those horns. One was used at Sinai, at Mount Sinai, when God gave the Torah to the Jewish people and to the world 3,338 years ago. And the second horn will be sounded to herald the coming of Mashiach, a time when the Torah, the Bible, prescribes that the entire world will have peace and harmony, no more wars, no more sickness, and no more death. A beautiful time, a utopian time, which will happen very speedily, and we will have that heralded with the sounding of the shofar of Mashiach. May it speedily happen. Amen. Here's something you never thought you'd hear from a rabbi. And quote me, this year on the high holidays, don't pray. You heard me right. Don't pray. Prayer means to beseech. You feel you're lowly. You're something of insignificant, and you're asking of something of someone greater than you. I'm telling you that in Judaism, the word for tefillah that we do typically in the service actually means attachment, connection. It doesn't mean to pray. It's a time when we get together and we use the moments, hours, to connect to God, to forge and strengthen our attachment to Hashem, to God. So this year, maybe you've prayed so many times before. Maybe you've went to services every year, Rosh Hashanah, or you go every week, or maybe you've never been. I'm inviting you to join me with all the other locals that come and join us at the services on Rosh Hashanah. This year it's on Sunday, September 14 and 15 at 10 a.m. I can promise you, you will love it. The services are in traditional text with English translation. I give a running commentary, spiced with a few little jokes here and there. But I'm telling you, it's something really you would enjoy. At 11:15, we're going to have the shofar blowing. But you know, 11:15 is never 11:15 at a Jewish function. So come at around 11:15. But please be there. It's really something special for you and for your loved ones. It'll be at the Holiday Inn in Mansfield, 10 a.m. and 11:15 on Monday and Tuesday, September 14 and 15. There's going to be a great kids program simultaneously at 11 o'clock on both days. You can sign up at jewishmansfield.com or at the link that you'll see at the end of this clip. And again, I invite you to come, I inspire you to come, and I hope you really enjoy it. Please let me know.
Hi, it's Tzivi, and I'm back with a very special new Rosh Hashanah recipe. This is my challah dough. We just mixed and kneaded and put all the ingredients together to make soft and fluffy challah dough. The highlight of the holiday table are the round, beautiful, delicious challahs. On Rosh Hashanah, we eat many round foods to symbolize how the cycle of the year goes around and around, and the fortune of a person goes around and around throughout the year. So I'm going to teach you how to make my beautiful round Rosh Hashanah challahs. So the first thing I need to do is I need to take 6 strands of challah dough, just about a handful each. And as I roll the challah dough, I'm going to talk a little bit about the significance and the specialty of the spiritual side of Rosh Hashanah. So Rosh Hashanah is a very special time. It's a time for us to think of everything that happened the past year, the relationships we had, the experiences we had, the people we met, the things that we may have done wrong and the things we may have done right. It's a time to make amends, to apologize, to make peace with friends or coworkers that we may have wronged. And it's a time to create a connection with God. During Rosh Hashanah, Jewish people traditionally go to synagogue and temples and pray. And while they pray, they ask God for forgiveness. And they ask God for help in becoming kinder, more helpful, and a better human being. So Rosh Hashanah is really a time of reflection, making new resolutions, and trying to be a much better person. So we are ready to make our awesome six braided round challah. The first thing you need is a round, deep challah pan that looks just like this. You're going to spray it with Pam and put it to the side. So in Rosh Hashanah is a time for us to develop a relationship with God. And many times in the services, God is referred to as the king. And because God is referred to as our king, we are going to be making a challah in the shape of a crown, a round circle crown. So you're going to be taking the 3 strands and kind of putting them close together. And then you're going to be weaving the other 3 strands in and out to create a pattern that looks something just like this. It's going to be over, under, over. I'm going to move them a little closer together. This one's going to be under, under, over, under. And our very last one is going to go over, under, over. So now it looks like a lattice shape. And now we're going to create the crown. So you're going to take the 3 strands that are most closest to you, and you're going to braid them just like you're braiding a child's hair. Braid, 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 braid. Then we're actually going to take that and we're going to tuck it into itself till it creates a little bit of depth. Then we're going to move the challah around and we're going to braid these 3 strands just like you would braid a child's hair. Just like this. And then you tuck this one underneath itself so it looks like it's braided on all 3 sides. I'm going to continue braiding the 3rd side. Tuck it under. And the very last side. And tucking it under. The secret of challah is that it needs time to rise. So once I finish shaping the challah, I'm going to pick up my challah. I'm going to place it in my round pan and wait a half an hour at least in a warm spot till it becomes this double itself in size. Once it doubles itself in size, I'm going to take some egg. I'm going to brush it on the challah so it can be nice and crispy. And now comes the fun part. On Rosh Hashanah, we want God to grant us a sweet new year, so we use as many sweet foods as we can possibly use. What I like to do is I like to take a little bit of honey and just drizzle it on top, just like this. Then, I like to take a couple raisins and place them between each little pattern, between each and every braided spot. Raisins are sweet, and when raisins are mixed into challah, they make a delicious holiday bread. And lastly, I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of our delicious cinnamon and sugar. And the cinnamon and sugar is going to stick to the honey, and it's going to taste incredible with this soft, delicious challah with a honey, cinnamon, and raisins. I'm going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes, and when it comes out, it will be delicious, warm, and the best challah to grace our holiday table.
Hi, my name is Rabbi Kivman. They call me Rabbi Yassi. I don't care what you call me, just don't call me late to dinner. Talking about dinner, we're having this unbelievable dinner that my wife and I are putting together on Rosh Hashanah this year. Everybody loves to get together with family. They bicker, they yell, they shout. It's Rosh Hashanah, of course, we're getting together for dinner. But let me tell you something. There's something so special about getting together with family like us, with family like community, here in Mansfield. We're going to have a big, beautiful dinner at the Holiday Inn. All you have to do is reserve and let us know that you're coming. We'd love to see you there. We'll have all the traditional, delicious foods. And let me tell you, it's really delicious. I know it firsthand. I hope you'll make it. I hope you'll come and join us. Bring your friends too. Just reserve online. We'll show you the exact website to reserve on the bottom of the screen once this is over.